What's going on, YouTube? Reva's Talk Sports here, back at it again with a brand new NFL mock draft. So without further ado, hop into the video. Pick 1, Tennessee Titans. There should be no explanations for this pick. There is a dire need at the quarterback position. I think you should go ahead and run that card in. I do got the Tennessee Titans selecting Cam Ward, QB1 of the draft. Pick 2, Cleveland Browns. Another team that needs a quarterback. I do know that Abdul Carter has been mocked to this team a lot, but I don't know if they go that route, especially with them extending Myles Garrett. They need to kind of think long term, especially at the cornerback position. I think that Denzel Ward may be his last year, especially with how his contract is structured. Greg Newsome is a free agent next year. I do think they should probably get one of the top players in the NFL draft, and that is Travis Hunter. He can help this defense out playing as a cornerback, and he can also play some snaps on offense. The wide receiver core is a bit thin for the Cleveland Browns. I do like Travis Hunter here going to the Cleveland Browns. We're going to go Travis Hunter here to the Browns. Pick 3, New York Giants, another team that really needs a quarterback, and I understand that Shedeur Sanders has been getting mocked to the Giants a lot, but if Abdul Carter is here available at pick 3, the New York Giants should really consider it. I know they have Brian Burns. I know they have Kayvon Thibodeaux, but Thibodeaux is on his final year as rookie deal. They have yet to give him the 5th-year option. They have yet to provide any type of extension. I do not know what the long-term outlook is for Thibodeaux, but the New York Giants organization were dominant when the defense was dominant, and I don't think they could pass up on a Micah Parsons like prospect in Abdul Carter. I think they skip quarterback in the first round, and I think they go with Abdul Carter at pick 3. Abdul Carter at pick 3. Pick 4, New England Patriots. It's very crucial to protect Drake May. I do think they go offensive line here. I do like Will Campbell here. I understand there's been some arm length issues. Tape does not lie. I think Vrabel likes Mason Graham or Will Campbell. They did take care of the defensive side of the ball in free agency. I think they go offensive line here. I do go with Will Campbell, offensive line for the New England Patriots. Pick 5, Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a Mason Graham pick here. The Jacksonville Jaguars were, ranked last in the NFL in pass rush win rate and bottom 5 in run stop win rate. Selecting Mason Graham will help solve most of those issues on defense. We're going to go ahead and select Mason Graham to the Jaguars. Pick 6, Las Vegas Raider. I think they go quarterback here. I think this is the furthest that Shedeur Sanders will fall. I do think that Shedeur Sanders will be the pick if he is there available at pick 6. Tom Brady is Shedeur Sanders' mentor, and with them having Geno Smith there, I think it's very crucial for Sanders to have a veteran quarterback in that room. We're going to go ahead and select Shedeur Sanders to the Raiders. Pick 7, New York Jets. There are some needs, especially in the pass rush, or they can kind of boost up the offensive line. I think they go with one of the top playmakers in this draft, and that is Tyler Warren, tight end out of Penn State. Right now, the sole tight end is Jeremy Ruckert. Don't think that he'll be a difference maker in this offense. I think it would be very huge to get a TE1 in Tyler Warren. They did not get Brock last year. I think they should get a top playmaker in the draft. Tyler Warren to the New York Jets. Pick 8, Carolina Panthers. This was one of the worst defenses this past season. I think they should probably go with best player available on the defensive side of the ball. And from what I see on my end, it does look like that is Will Johnson. They did lock up J.C. Horn for the future with that new contract, and having Will Johnson the opposite end, I think they both can be one of the top duos in the cornerback position. And I know Johnson is falling down a bit with his injury, but I think the fall may stop here depending on how the Panthers feel about that. Will Johnson partnering with J.C. Horn, then it'll be a solid cornerback duo. Pick 9, New Orleans Saints. I think they probably beef up the defensive line in this pick, or offensive line. With Kellen Moore being head coach, he saw how dominant the Eagles were having a dominant offensive line. I think this could be an offensive line pick for the Saints, and I think they go with Armin Mimbo out of Missouri. He can either play right tackle or be pushed into guard. I think he is a very versatile offensive lineman, very athletic offensive lineman. I think boosting up the offensive line for the Saints will be crucial. We're going to go with Armin here at pick 9. Pick 10, Chicago Bears. The Bears made a lot of moves in free agency, boosting up the offensive line, boosting up the defense. If there is one prospect that I do feel like will be a great fit for the Bears, That is Shamar Stewart edge. And I know that the Bears did take care of the edge position in free agency, but this is a Dennis Allen type of prospect. He loves big body edge players. I feel like Stewart may have been underutilized at Texas A&M. I think Dennis Allen may be able to maximize that potential. And the Bears do have 4 edge rushers hitting free agency next year. I do like Shamar Stewart going to the Chicago Bears. Pick 11, San Francisco 49ers. A lot of people are saying that they're going through a rebuild. I think they're going through a retool. And with Rob Saleh coming back, I think they focus on defense in the first round. The one prospect that I do like for the 49ers, and I know a lot of you may think this is a reach, I do like Walter Nolan here, beefing up the defensive line, being a nice partner for Nick Bosa. I think Rob Saleh will like that. I think it'll be a great start for this 49ers team in the first round. Walter Nolan going to the 49ers. Pick 12, Dallas Cowboys. This will be a very tough selection for the Cowboys. They can either go with Ashton Jeanty or Ted McMillan. I think the Cowboys go wide receiver here. I think they select Ted McMillan. I think with him being a nice running mate to CeeDee Lamb will be a great part of this passing offense for Dak Prescott. And with them selecting Ted McMillan, it will allow Lamb to operate a lot off the slot. I think the Cowboys go wide receiver here with Ted McMillan. Pick 13, Miami Dolphins. There is a serious need at the safety position. Javon Hollins at the Giants. They did not bring back Jordan Poyer, but I do think that it is very important to beef up this offensive line and protect Tua Tagovailoa. I think they go with Kelvin Banks Jr. here, beefing up the offensive line. He's one of the top offensive lineman prospects in this draft. Kelvin Banks to the Miami Dolphins. Pick 14, Indianapolis Colts. Serious need at the tight end position. I think they go tight end here. And the TE2 in this draft, that is Colston Loveland. So I think Colston Loveland will be the selection here at pick 14 if Tyler Warren isn't available. We're going to go with tight end Colston Loveland. Pick 15, Atlanta Falcons. There is a need with this pass rush. This is probably one of the worst pass rush teams this past season, but one of the most underrated positions that I think the Falcons should tackle in the first round is the linebacker position. I think they go with a sneaky need here, and I think they can probably select Jahad Campbell. I know Jalen Walker is on the board, but the Falcons just for some odd reason just don't select Georgia players, which is why I'm skipping them here. I think Jahad Campbell will be a great linebacker for this Falcons team. Very rangy linebacker, probably play that Tampa 2 type defense. He can very versatile, come off the edge, play middle linebacker. I think he'll be a key linebacker for this team. And it's either they select Jahad Campbell or probably face Jahad Campbell twice a year if the Buccaneers select them. I do think the Falcons select Jahad Campbell here. Pick 16, Arizona Cardinals. The one prospect that I like for the Cardinals here is Kenneth Grant. He's able to eat up double teams. He could definitely push back one-on-one matchups. He has a nice little pass rush arsenal to his game. And I think by Kenneth Grant going to the Arizona Cardinals, I think that would be huge for this defense, a big body defensive tackle for this team. We're going to go ahead with Kenneth Grant to the Arizona Cardinals. Pick 17, Cincinnati Bengals. With the Bengals given that contract to Chase and Higgins. Don't know what the future's looking like for Trey Hendrickson. I think they kind of focus on the edge position in the first round, maybe defensive tackle. I think they go edge here, and I do like James Pierce Jr. He exploded at the NFL Combine. Think he's falling down the boards just a bit. Apparently, there's some character issues, but I don't know how true or not that may be. But I do like James Pierce Jr. edge going to Cincinnati Bengals. So we're going to go JP Jr. going to the Bengals. Pick 18, Seattle Seahawks. There is a serious need on the offensive line. This offensive line gave up too many sacks, and I don't know if they're going to want to do Sam Darnold like that. But if there is one prospect that kind of feels like a Coach McDonald type pick, that is safety Nick Emenwari. He has the same type of frame as Kyle Hamilton. He not only exploded at the NFL Combine, I believe he has a relative athletic score of 10, but if there is one coach that knows how to deal with a player like Kyle Hamilton and move him like a chess piece on defense, that is Nick Emenwari. We're going to go with Nick Emenwari to the Seattle Seahawks, and I think the Seahawks may focus on the offensive line in the second round. Pick 19, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With Jahad Campbell coming off the board, I think they kind of look at Jalen Walker here. I think it'll be a great fit for this Todd Bowles defense. Come off the edge, be a nice linebacker. I think he'll be a nice chess piece in terms of the linebacker and edge position for Todd Bowles. We're going to go with Jalen Walker to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Pick 20, Denver Broncos. They definitely go running back here, and I think the fall stops with Ashton Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty will be a great fit for this Denver Broncos offense. They really need to boost up that running game. Ashton Jeanty to the Denver Broncos. Pick 21, Pittsburgh Steelers. I did have wide receiver being mocked to the Steelers, but now that they got DK Metcalf, I don't think that wide receiver is a serious need for this Pittsburgh Steelers team. They can go defensive tackle. A nice fit for them will be Derek Carman. He is a great defensive tackle in terms of causing pressures. He had about 55, 60 pressures at the defensive tackle position this past season in college football, but I don't think that they go that route. They can, but in this mock draft, I'm not going to go that route. But I'm going to go with the second running back on the board. It's 1A, 1B between him and Ashton Genty, with Najee Harris going to the Los Angeles Chargers. I can see the Steelers going with a running back in the first round, or Marion Hampton. We're going to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pick 22, Los Angeles Chargers. Jim Harbaugh loves to build the trenches. He took Joe Alt last year, and that paid huge dividends on the offensive side of the ball in terms of building up the offensive tackle position. I think Jim Harbaugh may go build up that defensive trench on the defensive side of the ball, and I think he may go D tackle here, and we're going to go select Derek Harmon to the Los Angeles Chargers. Pick 23, Green Bay Packers. The Packers do need to boost up that edge position, especially in terms of the pass rush. Lucas Van Ness, after 2 years, we haven't seen that spark of that first round pick that the Packers were hoping in Lucas Van Ness. We don't know what the future like is for Rashawn Gary, but I do think the Packers go D line or D end in the first round. And with this prospect being a Georgia Bulldog and being an edge, he has the height, he has the weight, arm length, and hands, and that pretty much fits every single threshold that the Packers look for in terms of the edge position. I do see the Packers go with Michael Williams. He is an elite run defender. His pass rush is a bit raw, which kind of seems like a very Packers-like pick. We're going to go with Michael Williams to the Green Bay Packers. Pick 24, Minnesota Vikings. If there is one position that I can see the Vikings targeting in the first round, is probably the safety or cornerback position. But with this one prospect being available here at pick 24, I can see the Minnesota Vikings selecting Jahdae Barron. Inside out versatility. He can play the slot. He can play the boundary. He can play safety, especially in the pinch. He provides that type of versatility that I believe that Brian Flores would love. I got Jahdae Barron going to the Minnesota Vikings. Pick 25, Houston Texans. I got them going with the interior offensive line. I got Tyler Booker out of Alabama going to the Houston Texans, boosting up that interior line. Can't give up 8 sacks in the playoffs, and I don't think they should let that happen after selecting Tyler Booker here. Pick 26, LA Rams. I think they go cornerback here, and I think they go with one of the top cornerbacks in this prospect, and that is with Trey Amos. He can be the CB1 for the Rams, true boundary cornerback, and I think he will kind of solve that lack of CB position that they're missing on that defense. I do like Trey Amos going to the LA Rams. Pick 27, Baltimore Ravens. I think they can either go cornerback, offensive guard, or edge. I think they go edge here, and the one prospect that I like is Nick Scorton going to the Baltimore Ravens. He has nice pass rush moves. I believe the one game that I saw him play against LSU, he hit a nice swim move on Will Campbell and got by him and got to the quarterback. Didn't get the sack, but he has pretty nice pass rush moves, and I think him going to the Baltimore Ravens will be a nice fit. Pick 28, Detroit Lions. They can go edge. They can kind of go offensive line. And I think they're going to go with an edge position here. And the next top edge here on the board is Donovan Ezeraku, one of the most elite pass rushers in the draft. He isn't a solid run defender, but I feel like Dan Campbell just going to the Detroit Lions can kind of get him to be a solid run defender, elite pass rush moves. And I feel like him being on the opposite end of Aiden Hutchinson will be huge for this pass rush. We're going to go with Donovan Ezeraku to the Detroit Lions. Pick 29, Washington Commanders. They can go edge here. I think a sneaky pick for the Commanders is on the offensive side of the ball, and that is with wide receiver Matthew Golden. I know they traded for Deebo Samuels. We don't know if he's going to play a full season. I think it's been a while since he has, but with Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel, and kind of getting Matthew Golden on the offensive side of the ball, I think that would be huge passing core for Jaden Daniels. We're going to go with Matthew Golden, wide receiver out of Texas, to the Washington Commanders. Pick 30, Buffalo Bills. I think the Buffalo Bills kind of either focus on the defensive tackle position. They can either focus on the cornerback position. The one cornerback that I do like for the Buffalo Bills, and I think he may have stuck himself into the late first round, that is Maxwell Hairston out of Kentucky. Solid combine, showed his athleticism at the combine, and I think he can be a huge and I think he could be a huge boost to this Buffalo Bills secondary. I got Maxwell Harrison sneaking to the first round, being selected at pick 30 to the Buffalo Bills. Pick 31, Kansas City Chiefs. I think they go D tackle here, and Tyleik Williams, with him being available, I think he'll be a nice fit next to Chris Jones, beefing up the defensive line. I got Tyleik Williams going to the Kansas City Chiefs. And at pick 32 with the Philadelphia Eagles, with Josh Sweat hitting free agency and going to Arizona Cardinals, I can see the Philadelphia Eagles kind of boosting up that edge position and kind of have someone opposite of Nolan Smith. I think they go edge here and they select Mike Green out of Marshall. I think Mike Green has that first round grade, and I think he sneaks in late in the first round and gets selected by the Philadelphia Eagles. There you have it. These are my selections for this mock draft video. If you enjoy the content, please give the video a thumbs up and comment below on your thoughts on this mock draft or anything else that you would do differently. Thank you so much, and catch you guys next time.